Am I the asshole for telling my husband to apologize for invading our daughter's privacy?
Ain't nothing wrong with asking anything. You know what I mean? I don't say you'd be an ass. Well, you could definitely ask things and be an asshole for sure. For sure. But this, asking for forgiveness, asking, to apologize. I don't think there's anything wrong.
They're telling him to apologize. Not asking.
Oh, it's time to apologize.
If that changes your mind.
It doesn't, because
it's still an invasion of
with my
privacy,
brother.
though.
Fair enough. I just thought I'd clarify that for everyone. All right. So I, 36 female, have a daughter, Stacy, 17 female. And 2 days ago, my husband, Josh, 38 male.
Asshole.
Just for the name alone, had borrowed her phone to send a text to my mother-in-law since his phone had died. From what he told me, after Josh had texted his mother, he'd opened up Chrome on Stacy's phone and saw a website called Archive of Our Own on one of his tabs.
Isn't that the smut link?
OG listeners will know that's where we go for. Actually, might not even know because I don't think we even shout out the website we go to, but that's where.
No, I've said it before.
First YouTube strike we've ever gotten
was linking to that website.
And it won't be old fans only, because guess what's coming Monday? A little sneak peek.
Oh, can't wait.
Ooh.
So yeah, had a smut. She had a smut website open.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
There was a story about a character essaying another character from one of Stacy's favorite shows in a graphic detail. It disgusted my husband so much that he stormed into Stacy's bedroom, confronting her with it, and began yelling at her for reading it. Stacy cried because he called her disgusting during it, and then Josh took the phone back to our bedroom where he stayed for most of the day. He probably kept reading it.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why'd you stay in the bedroom all day?
Yeah, all day is weird. When I came back home from work, Josh told me what had happened and demanded we punish our daughter by taking her phone away from her for the next 2 weeks and sending her to therapy. I said no to all of that and asked Josh why he was snooping through Stacy's phone in the first place. He couldn't come up with an answer. I told him that there is much worse things like Stacy could be doing than just reading about something so dark, that he invaded our daughter's privacy and hurt Stacy's feelings by calling her disgusting. I took her phone out of our bedroom and gave it back to Stacy. I then told Josh that he should apologize for invading Stacy's privacy and calling her disgusting. Josh has since apologized for calling our daughter disgusting, but hasn't apologized for snooping and refuses to do so. He says I'm being an ass for expecting him to. Am I the asshole?
No.
Feels good to be right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like to read, me not included with that. I'm a terrible reader, but I feel like you can access those type of books, whether if it's that website or you can, I mean, a lot of books that are recommended by TikTok has those types of themes and in stories, you know what I'm saying? So
it's like an extremely popular Harry Potter fan fiction that's
I've heard,
and it has Draco essaying Hermione. Like that's how it starts.
Oh God,
I haven't read it, but that's apparently a very popular fan fiction, and I'm like, oh,
well, I mean, even
why?
50 Shades like bore out of was it Twilight fan fiction, I think. So I mean, I think it's more of a place where like first time writers try things out. There's obviously horrible things on there, but
yeah, Archive of Your Own isn't all smut, guys. That's just where I find my smut without getting thousands of pop-ups.
Exactly.
But they have like other like for anybody type of stuff on there.
Yeah, it's like Reddit. You can go to the dark parts if you want to.
You can,
but
you definitely can.
Most people are in the chill subreddits.
Yeah.
The way John says you definitely can with so much conviction worries me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Anonymous browsing, baby.
You definitely can. You definitely can. I was like, whoa, relax, brother.
A little too much zest on that response.
A little NSFW filter.
Does not exist on John's phone.
No, but really, it's for the dad to double down about. Okay, I can understand some concerns. This would have been a little different if the dad had gone like, "Hey, I was using your phone and I was going online, or I was using the web browser, and I just happened to stumble upon this book. It's a little concerning. Are you okay? have that type of conversation, but immediately the dad went, "You're fucking disgusting," without getting any context.
Shaming is crazy.
Immediately shaming the daughter. So that's the fucked up part. Had the dad approached it more dadly, I guess that's the best way I can put it. This might have been like a different, with more empathy, more understanding. Like, hey, are you cool? Is everything okay? Instead of just straight up shaming her. Judgment might have been a little different, but you know, the dad doubled down and say like, "Nah, I'm not gonna apologize for snooping." And what the fuck? Your phone died. Why don't you go charge it, fool? Like, why do you have to use your daughter's phone for that?
So that's where I'm coming from. I'm like, that's weird that you're snooping through her shit. Like, he couldn't come up with a good excuse. Apparently, it was to text his mom or something like that. But like, does the text need to go out right away? Can you not charge your phone? You're in your own house. Do you not have a charger for your phone?
I feel like you stay at home in your room the whole day. You could have just laid down for 5 minutes and let it charge.
Send that text later, brother.
You're right. It might have been a premeditated.
That's
snooping.
what I'm thinking. Where I think he's snooping on purpose rather than it just being a quote unquote coincidence. Like
I could say it out to this though. What do you call it? He could have borrowed the phone, you know, because he felt like he needed to text, and while he was there, he was like, "Well, I have the chance to, might as well snoop." Because I feel like a lot of couples will check their partner's phones for things.
I immediately yell out, "I'm so sorry, I accidentally opened a tab." I'm like, look, I didn't look.
I didn't look. Yeah, I don't know. And I get like wanting to monitor your children's like online activity, but that's something you do together as well. Just going off of what John said, like coming at from a more empathetic approach, as well as talking to your partner before you talk to your daughter about it. Because I think
that too.
Like then you're going into it together and you have a plan rather than just storming in and screaming.
Yeah, going in hot like that was a huge mistake.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Especially when, you know, there could be a misunderstanding. I will say this though. If I, you know, and maybe this is incorrect, but if I had a cis straight son reading stuff about characters essaying each other, I maybe would go in hot. You know, and that's probably bad on me as a parent, but I would maybe be like, is my son a fucking danger to society? That would be my first instinct, which would probably not be great.
Yeah, I think you got to go at it with empathy as well, because I think, like for me, I think it's like you have a discussion about that and be like, all right, this is not okay.
But I'm just saying, like my initial instinct, which I admit is wrong.
For sure.
I would be scared. I would be like,
yeah.
Hey, at least you called it out now, so that way, if that situation ever arises, you can come back to this conversation.
Now I know not to do that.
Exactly. See,
just send Nancy.
It's a learning lesson, buddy.
Go joint together, like y'all said.
Yes. Good cop, bad cop. Right?
I'm not sure who would be the bad cop, and that's
definitely me. Definitely I'm trying to come in hot. What the fuck, brother?
So Reddit deemed not the asshole, as I'm sure we can imagine.
Rightfully so.
Lechin12345 on our subreddit said, apparently it's a fanfic of House of the Dragons, so it's honestly not much worse than the source material, but seriously awful reaction.
Game of Thrones discusses.
Oh yeah, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but yeah, isn't there essay all over the place on that show?
Oh yeah,
all over the place.
Yeah.
So if the dad has ever watched and enjoyed Game of Thrones, he has no room to talk.
That's probably why he stayed in the room the whole time and probably read the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. I really hope that's not the case.
It probably is the case.
Camcree1 underneath that comment says, as a pretty active member of that fandom, House of the Dragons, and I also write fanfic, fuck OP's husband. I can't even imagine how embarrassed I'd have been if someone had done that when I was her age. I'm really curious how the husband tripped on the way from messages to her Safari, all the way to her browser history where he saw AO3 accidentally started reading and then didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need to open Chrome to send a text?
AO3? I didn't know we had acronyms for one of my most popular sites.
Apparently. Also, this is in regards to what John said. OP's husband better not enter the YA or new adult section of Barnes & Noble. He might be at serious risk of challenging his preconceived notions. She's 17, not 12.
I gotta say, is essay like I don't, obviously, I'm like John, I don't read. Is essay like a common trope in these books? Also, why? Why is that?
Well,
I feel like that's...
I think people write from like a place of like the essay happens in the real world, right?
For
And
sure.
so I think writing about real world things that happen, some people find comfort in reading that if it's happened to them potentially.
Oh, okay.
This is coming from me, a dumbass. Who know? I cannot psychologically
we all have
diagnose.
no experience.
Yeah,
I don't read shit, so I can't comment.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
just
neither do
'cause-
I. Other than
I mean, it's
audiobooks.
also with like the content I choose to take is like very much never sad. So it's
That
for
too.
me, I would like reading about that would be devastating.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
which is a good
you know,
response to that stuff, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
because like on first instinct, you know, if I saw my kid reading that, I think I would be pretty concerned. I definitely, you know, and then maybe this, you know, like I said, this is wrong. Depending on their gender, if they had a gender, you know what I mean? I might go in hot.
right,
Just because
but-
we've seen so many weird dudes and
Right,
read so many weird
weirdos.
dude stories.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this is a common thing, but it is a common thing, and it's, you know, to each their own. It's just reading at the end of the day. It's like video games. Like, what's wrong with all this murder? Well, it's just a game.
Yeah,
It doesn't
exactly.
really matter.
yeah, TV shows, there's murder, there's all kinds of stuff on there that, you know, people experience. So I think it comes from more of a people write down their experiences or
Real life things.
right? That people can
Yeah.
connect with. And that is a thing, unfortunately, that happens in the real world, just like murder, you know, just like overdose, all that kind of stuff that people do write about. And I think that's maybe why it's common. But again,
Yeah.
I'm not a writer. I'm not a
Well, I mean,
huge
talking
reader.
to you about it is making it make more sense in my head about like why people would write, or like, you know, because to me, if a book started off with that, I'd be like, whoa, all right, tried to choose a different book.
Hey,
But
we
that
do
makes
have a
sense,
lot of-
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a lot of Wikimaniacs who are literary
Scholars.
great people. So
As we clearly aren't.
we're not. I can't even literate this. What I'm saying right now. So
I gotta say,
explain. If you know the reasons, please let us know.
For sure.
I mean, and you know, I have to say, like, I maybe have read 10 books my entire life. So, like,
Same, and most of them are required.
obviously, I don't know shit. So, yeah, take everything I'm saying about this with a grain of salt. I'm very new to the culture of books.
Get therapy.